Hi everybody! Just about to share this live stream real quick and we'll get started. All right, you guys, I am so excited right now, as I am every week. All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Wellness Wednesday live here on my page. I'm Alessia. If you're new here, I'm a certified holistic nutritionist and gut expert, and I help busy women who struggle with IBS, bloating, gas, constipation, and diarrhea heal their gut so they can beat IBS, eat with confidence, and feel normal again, all without having to rely on restrictive diets and living on medications for life. There is like a really weird glare on my glasses. Normally I don't wear glasses, you guys, but today I have got my glasses on because my eyesight is not so good these days. I'm very guilty of not wearing my glasses when I'm on my computer and working, and that's causing a lot of strain. But anyway, you guys, how are you guys doing this week? I am so thrilled to be here again, once again, for another episode of Wellness Wednesday, the gut series. And this week, I have something super special for all of you. Now, this week, we're talking all about the 4 steps to banish IBS. Now, I've talked a lot in the last couple of weeks of, giving you lots of strategies and tips on how to uncover your triggers, the kind of diet you should be eating on if you have IBS and gut issues. We talked about poop last week. So we've been diving in a lot on the steps that you should be taking, but I haven't actually broken them down and given them to you in a succinct way, if that's even a word, in a step-by-step system. And when I work with my clients in my one-to-one coaching, it's all laid out for my clients step-by-step. And I thought to myself, well, if I give that to my clients, I need to give that to you. So I'm going to be sharing that with you today. So I'm going to be sharing 4 steps. And as usual, I've got my notes here because there's a lot to cover, and I want to make sure that I get everything in for you before I announce something special. That means you have to stay till the end if you want to know what's coming up, and it's super special. It's for you, and it's something that I'm very proud of. So you guys, share this live stream, share this with your friends, share it on your page. It's so key to share the information that you learn, and if you find it helpful, because so many people, actually 1 in 3 persons suffers with IBS and digestive issues like bloating, gas, constipation, and diarrhea. So you guys, share this, share the love, drop a comment below, tell me hi, where you're listening in from, and I'd love to know if you have actually been officially diagnosed with IBS. I want to know that because I've spoken to a lot of people recently, and a lot of people are self-diagnosing, which isn't such a good idea, but I'm curious. Let me know in the comments below. Have you been officially diagnosed by a doctor that you have IBS? All right, guys, let's get into it. This week, if you have bloating, if you have constipation, and when I say constipation, I mean, distended stomach, bloated, painful, hard belly, and difficulty passing stool, and even not being very regular. Constipation can, show up differently in different people. Diarrhea, maybe you've got, the shits. And perhaps you also suffer with some other digestive issues like acid reflux. Maybe you struggle with food intolerances. Maybe you're even afraid to eat. Tell me in the comments, are you afraid of food? Because I remember in my journey, I got to a point where I was afraid to eat anything. I felt like everything was going to flare me up. I felt like I was afraid to eat because I was going to get constipated, and it was better not to eat because then I didn't have to poo, rather than eat and then have to pass and then struggle passing. So I struggled so much with food, and that's really why I became a nutritionist in the first place. And my journey was long, guys. My journey was long. I spent so many years just trying all sorts of things. I went, vegetarian. I went raw vegan. I went fruitarian. I also went vegan, and I stayed vegan for 3 years, and then I did paleo. I tried everything, and I just could never figure it out until I really had a system in place, and I started healing while I was in school, while I was studying to be a nutritionist. I started my healing journey. So I was taking everything that I was learning and I was putting it into practice, and I've come down to my signature system, which I'm going to be sharing with you today, my 4 steps to banish IBS. So the first step we're going to talk about is controlling your symptoms. What does that mean? Controlling your digestive systems. So it means to prevent further damage to your gut. So that is the goal in step 1, is that you want to actually prevent any further damage to the gut, because you already, if you have IBS or any digestive issues, you have a damaged gut. So imagine that you fall down and you scrape your knee or graze your knee, or you even just get hurt, and all of a sudden there's an injury. That is the same thing that's happened to your gut. Your gut hasn't just out of the blue gotten inflamed, or your problems haven't come out of the blue. There was an injury, and injury can come in many different ways. It could be food related, it could be stress related, it could be infection related, it could be an overgrowth of bacteria, it could be anxiety and depression, the gut-brain axis. There's so many things that can cause injury to the gut, but ultimately it all is inflammation. Inflammation is injury to your gut, and if you have IBS and you have bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, you have inflammation in your gut. And so before you even start anything, you want to actually stop any further symptoms. So you actually want to start looking at fixing your diet. So that's number 1. And I speak to many people on a daily where I speak to them, and these are potential clients, just people in general that I speak to. They think that they're eating healthy, but they're not actually eating what works for their body, okay? So that simply means that what you might consider healthy, the salads and the raw foods and the green smoothies and flooding your system with lots of fiber. Yes, in theory, we've been told that that's healthy, but it might not be working for you and your unique situation. So that's number 1. You've got to stop actually putting the fire on your inflammation, and you've got to start looking at fixing your diet and looking at healing your diet with avoiding processed foods and eating real foods. Eating real foods, but not just eating real foods and eliminating everything else, but also adding in good, healthy animal foods that are going to really repair your gut and are going to actually nourish, okay? So when we have inflammation in the gut, what happens is that we are not absorbing nutrients properly because our gut isn't even working properly. So that causes nutrient deficiencies. I see nutrient deficiencies, lack of vitamin A, iron, zinc, magnesium, those very important nutrients are really needed to repair the gut, and also they're really needed for you to actually live well and, you know, feel good, have energy to actually do things in life. So if you've got IBS, you most likely have nutrient deficiencies. So you need to start at the root, which is your diet. So you also have to look at supporting your digestion. In step number 1, where we want to actually stop the inflammation, we want to look at supporting your digestion. So how does that look like? What are the steps that you need to take in order to support your digestion? You need to look at whether you have enough hydrochloric acid, whether you have enough stomach acid to break down foods. I spoke to somebody today who can't digest steak, and she's never been able to digest steak. And guess what? That is low stomach acid. If you're not being able to break down the proteins in your food, then you don't have strong enough stomach acid. And what causes low stomach acid? A lot of things, but one of the top ones is too much fiber, too many plant foods. That's right. I know. You're probably like, what? Is she crazy? I thought plant foods were really healthy. I thought we needed to eat more veggies. Yes and no. So yes, too many veggies, an alkaline environment in your gut is not good, guys. So get rid of that alkaline water. Get rid of, all these sodas that cause so much imbalance in your gut, and get rid of the magnesium and phosphorus balance in your gut. And you want to start adding in your animal foods. You want to add in perhaps like digestive enzymes, maybe even taking HCl supplements that are going to help you break down those proteins. And also, like I said, digestive enzymes, those really help a lot with supporting your digestion and making sure that you're digesting and breaking down that food. So that's number 1, guys. Step number 1 is really to control your digestive your digestive system. Why am I saying system twice? Controlling your digestive symptom, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2 is repairing your gut, okay? So step number 2 is that we want to improve digestion and absorption. We want to promote food tolerance. In other words, we want to be able to actually eat, to be able to eat all sorts of food, not have intolerances to all these different foods, and not to be afraid of food, guys. Why? The one thing that I notice every time with my clients is that they come to me and they're like, Alessia, I just don't know what to eat anymore. I have tried everything. Hi, Melanie. I have tried everything. I can't digest anything anymore. I eat anything and it gives me gas, gives me bloating. Like, I'm afraid to eat. And I've eliminated this food, that food, and they give me this list of the foods that they've eliminated, basically everything, and they've like come down to like 5 foods that they can actually eat. Guys, that's not a way to live. That's not how you're going to heal your gut. That's just going to be a band-aid, and that's actually what's going to cause you to, again, have further nutrient deficiencies. So we want to actually eat nutrient-dense foods, like I said, food that has the most nutrients. Food that has the most nutrients is your animal foods, okay? So going vegan is the latest trend. And believe me, I know what it's like to get sucked into the propaganda and the fear-based, information that everyone puts out there in terms of veganism. And I was vegan for 3 years, and it worked for the first 2 years, and then my health started declining, and it actually brought my IBS back. So here's the thing with the vegan diet. It can work for some people, but overall it's missing some of the most key nutrients, guys. Some of the most key nutrients. L-glutamine, number 1. L-glutamine helps to heal the gut lining, okay? And your glutamic acid is found in meats, okay? Meats are high in glutamic acid. They're high in glycine, which is an amino acid that helps your gut lining heal, okay, and stay strong. So plant foods just don't have it, okay? So that's number 1. If you want to heal the gut, repair the gut, you want to include these kinds of supplements and these kinds of food. Number 2 is zinc. A vegan diet, a plant-based diet is super duper low in zinc. Plant foods have zinc, but because there's a lot of anti-nutrients, things like phytates, oxalates, lectins that are blocking the absorption of these minerals, you can't access these minerals in the plants. So they're actually binding to your cells and causing that blockage, so you're actually not being able to absorb them. So zinc is super important for immunity. If you have IBS, you're low in immunity. Again, inflammation, immunity, it's all connected. Vitamin A. So I get a lot of people on a plant-based diet saying that, you know, the plants have high vitamin A. Yes, but it's not the right form, okay? So we want the retinol form, not beta-carotene, okay? So beta-carotene is what you would find in carrots, in sweet potatoes, but it's not the one we want, okay? It's not the one we want. We want retinol. That is what's going to repair the gut. It's going to be, it's the function of vitamin A to repair and repair your cells. Number 3 is omega-3 fats. Okay, so yes, you can find some DHA and EPA in plant foods like flax seeds, but they still need to do the conversion. So there needs to be a conversion from the flaxseed or the plant oils into those omega-3 oils, and it's very poor. Our body doesn't do it very well, so you need it from fish and you need it like ASAP. Okay, omega-3 really reduces inflammation. So those nutrients are super duper important. And probiotics, okay? Probiotics, yes, you can find those in plant foods, of course, like fermented cabbage, kombucha, kimchi, those things. But, you know, the best ones are from kefir and fermented yogurt. So if you can get those, amazing, get them into your diet. So soothing inflammation with all these nutrients is so key. That's why I really don't believe in a plant-based diet anymore. And I did believe it for the first 2 years of my journey. I never pushed it on my clients. It was always something that I found. It was my personal journey. But as a nutritionist, I have to keep an open mind, and you have to keep evolving, and you have to stay open-minded with the latest research. And we know that the latest research, and it's not really that latest, our ancestors did not live on a plant-based diet, and they didn't also have a lot of the problems we have today. So there's something to think about right there. So you also want to kind of avoid food triggers in this stage. So stage 2, repairing your gut. You don't want to, you know, repair it and, you know, be on that path of repair, but then actually keep adding the food, the foods that give you an issue. So get rid of the triggers. If you know that wheat is a trigger, stop eating wheat. Stop eating bread. If you know that you can't do dairy, get rid of it. Don't have it. If you know that, you know, eggs are a problem, yes, they're nutritious, but don't have eggs. You know, everyone has their own unique gut microbiome, and we have to respect that, okay? So step number 3. So guys, if you're hopping on now, we are talking about the 4 steps to banish IBS, to tame those IBS flare-ups in 4 simple steps. We're on step number 3, so make sure you go back to the first bit at the end of the video to watch the first few steps. The 3rd step is nourishing your body. So yes, we've talked about diet already, but I know, like I said, I know that so many of my clients and my friends and family that struggle with gut issues and IBS, they're focused too much on removing. So it means that they remove all the foods, they do the low FODMAP diet, or they go on an elimination diet, or you know, they do all these things like remove all the foods that they're reacting to, but they forget to actually add in. So here's the thing, it becomes very overwhelming when all you do is remove. So what I want you to do is to actually add in, okay? So start adding in the nutrients that you need. Start adding in those animal-based foods, the omega-rich foods like fish, the vitamin A, vitamin K, zinc, magnesium, vegetables that are rich in those nutrients, meats, and amazing foods that are going to actually repair your gut. add those in and watch everything just phase out on its own. So avoiding processed food is also part of this stage, nourishing your body. We don't want to nourish. There's no nourishment in processed foods. So try to eliminate things that come in a box, a can, or ready-made, and stay away from anything that's made in fast food chains. Simple. We all know that that's not going to help you. And, we also want to think about adding in foods that perhaps aren't really very popular. So things like liver, things like bone broth, foods that perhaps isn't really that popular. So there are three things. Liver, rich in vitamin A, so that's going to repair your cells, repair your gut. Bone broth is rich in collagen, which is also going to help repair the gut lining. And also those little bits of meats that you kind of put to the side of the plate, like your cartilage and, those chewy bits that you're like, nah, I don't really like that. I'm going to stick to the muscle meats. Well, those are actually the best because those contain collagen. They're going to help repair your gut lining, and they're actually packed full of minerals. So we really want to start being a bit more open-minded with the kinds of foods we eat. We always focus on muscle meats like the steaks, the chicken breasts, the salmon steaks. But yes, while those are nutritious, we need to look at, other foods that are going to be a bit more nutritious as well, like liver, chicken feet and bone broth. Your ancestors ate that, and that's what nourished their gut and nourish their body. So think about nourishing your body. What is going to nourish your gut? All right, and finally, step number 4 is to correct your dysbiosis. So step number 4 is correcting any imbalances of gut bacteria. So looking at eating fermented foods, adding foods in that are going to actually repopulate your gut microbiome, especially if you've been on antibiotics or you take a lot of NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, headache medicine or ibuprofen, those kinds of things. Those are actually going to break down your gut microbiome and your gut lining over time. So that's going to cause leaky gut. So yeah, adding in more fermented foods, adding in more foods that are going to actually help with your gut lining, and even supplements, guys. It doesn't have to be just foods. It could be good quality probiotic supplements, and you're good to go. All right, and also there's something that, is not really talked about a lot lately in regards to healing the gut is fasting. Now, fasting is, super popular in the keto community or in the community of weight loss. Like everyone talks about intermittent fasting for weight loss and muscle building and all that stuff, but nobody really talks about, mainstream. They don't talk about it for healing the gut, but actually fasting is powerful. So looking at fasting, intermittent fasting, skipping breakfast, eating like meals that are more spaced out, giving your digestive system a rest, that's going to really help to soothe that inflammation, soothe the gut, and allow your body to actually repair. So those are, the most important things that you need to do right now. 4 steps, and I've given you plenty of free tips that you can take away with you today. And if you've hopped on now, just go back and check it out from the beginning. The video is going to give you all the tips that you need. Now, these tips are fantastic if you put them actually into action. We spoke about last week how information is really nothing without taking any action, and that brings me to make my special announcement. And so I'm actually going to be teaching everything that we spoke about today in my upcoming 4-week Gut Restore in 4 program. So this is actually a revamped, I'm basically relaunching my extremely popular Gut Fix in 6 program that I launched 2 years ago, and even last year at the beginning of 2018. And I wanted to kind of revamp it and add more latest research to it and make it a little bit more doable for people that have IBS and gas and bloating and constipation. And here it is, Gut Restore in 4. So I am excited to be sharing this with you guys because this program is literally what I teach my clients in my one-to-one coaching, which is usually 3 or 6 months. And I've condensed it into 4 weeks. Now you're probably thinking, oh my God, how are you going to condense all of that in 4 weeks? Well, here's the thing. So it takes time to heal your gut, okay? So if you have gas, bloating, constipation, even if you have like things that are not necessarily related to your gut, like acne, or perhaps you're struggling to drop weight no matter what you're doing and you just still can't drop any weight. Perhaps you're feeling really run down and you don't have a lot of energy and you have fatigue. Those symptoms are all related to how your digestion is working, because remember, your gut is the center of everything. So if you're not absorbing nutrients correctly, you're not going to have enough energy. If you're causing any inflammation in your body, in your gut, your skin is the largest organ. You're going to show on the skin what's happening on the inside. So if you have acne, it all starts in the gut. If you perhaps have constipation, diarrhea, IBS, and you've had it for a while, you need a reset. You need a step-by-step system, and that is why I've put together my 4-week program. So I'm so excited to share with you a little bit about my program and how you can enroll, because it's actually open for enrollment. So we are opening, well, I've opened the doors already. So the program actually starts on the 1st of December. Now here's the cool thing. Most people wait until January 1st to start their new healthy lifestyle, or they wait until January 1st to go to the gym, or they wait till January 1st until all the holidays are gone and they're feeling bloated and icky and flare up galore. They wait until the new year to start their new life or new healthy lifestyle. Here's the thing. I want you to go into the new year with a head start, okay? What does that look like? It means that by the time the end of December comes around, New Year comes around, you are not going to feel bloated, gassy, constipated, full of flare-ups. You're not going to be relying on medications to get you through the holidays. You're not going to have to rely on restrictive diets throughout the holidays because you can't digest anything. No, you're going to have the best December, because actually this program is not restrictive in any way. There is so many amazing foods that you can eat. There is so many different strategies that I'm going to be giving you to help you actually make the necessary changes. Now, here's the thing. You're going to wake up on January 1st and you're going to feel like $1,000,000, okay? Whereas all your friends and all your family is going to feel hungover. They're going to feel bloated, they're going to feel icky, tired, and they're just going to take the first week or 2 of January trying to get back on track. You are going to have a head start. So my 4-week Gut Restore in 4 program is broken down into the same steps that I've shared with you today. So I'm going to be teaching you week number 1, we're going to look at your 30-day meal plan. So we're going to look at how you can finally drop the fear of food. You can finally start understanding what foods are going to actually nourish your body and what foods are actually not going to nourish your body and are going to cause more damage. You're gonna, by the end of week number 1, you're gonna have the confidence to eat what your body wants, but most of all, you're not going to feel like you can't eat anything. It's going to actually be a breeze. All right. So number 1, week 1, we're looking at your meal plans. You're going to be receiving weekly meal plans for all 4 of the weeks with recipes and shopping lists. Now the program is centered around animal foods. So if you're vegan, I'm sorry, this is not a program that's for you. If you're vegan and you're struggling on your vegan diet and you're open to actually changing your diet and looking at adding in animal foods again, then I'm your girl, okay? So definitely look at joining the program. So week 1, we're looking at the IBS Freedom Diet, and we're looking at really changing it up and making sure that you know exactly what to eat every day for all your meals. Now, week number 2 is gut health basics. We're going to look at how to repair the gut in week number 2. So we're actually going to work together to understand how your digestion actually works. So in week number 2, you're going to figure out how your digestion is working by keeping a food diary, by listening to your body, by tracking every single symptom that you have and really digging deep into your triggers. So you're also going to be looking at Gut Health 101, how your gut works, basically. Understanding the 3 pillars of gut health. You're going to look at potential triggers and inflammatory foods that are holding you back. You're also going to look at poop. What we did last week, we're going to dive real deep in poop, and we're going to analyze how your motility works and how your bowel movements and evacuation works. We're also going to look at why grain-free is the way to go, why you should be going grain-free, why grains are problematic for those with IBS and gut issues, and so much more. So by the end of week number 2, you're going to know exactly what is going on with your digestion. Week number 3 is we're going to look at the worst and the best foods that are best and worst foods for your gut. So we're actually going to look at diving deep into the best and worst foods for your gut. And this is where we're going to start adding in foods that are nourishing, superfoods that are going to actually give your gut the nutrients that it needs to repair. So by the end of week 3, you're going to know things like which foods are inflammatory and which foods are anti-inflammatory. You're going to know the best foods that are going to nourish your microbiome and the best supplements as well. And by week number 4, you will already be 21 days into the program, and believe me, by then you're already going to be feeling amazing. However, I know that there's always going to be some roadblocks along the way. So I've actually planned in advance what your common roadblocks are going to be. So most people, that once they start healing the gut, once they start working on their irritable bowel syndrome and their gas, constipation, and diarrhea, they start to notice that other things pop up. Now, some of my clients in my one-to-one program, IBS Freedom, they work through the program, and they actually work through this program as well, but they encounter roadblocks such as candida. So perhaps they, are addicted to sugar and they have a candida overgrowth. So we have to work on that. Then some of them might notice, or they have been diagnosed with SIBO. So we have to work on the SIBO. Some of them are, still battling with malabsorption. So we work on improving the absorption of their nutrients. So there's different roadblocks for different people. So we're going to look at in week number 4, the most common roadblocks. And if you have encountered any of these roadblocks throughout the program, I will give you exactly which tests that you need to be taking to ask your doctor to give you, so you can actually figure these roadblocks out. So no more guessing, you're actually going to know what's wrong, okay? So this is where we're going to go and discover the root cause of what's going on. And we're also going to look at stress and how stress affects your gut in week number 4. So that means that we're going to look at the role stress plays in your gut microbiome and how it changes your gut microbiome and how it actually causes slow motility. Stress is a huge trigger for constipation. And we're also going to look at digging deeper and discovering what's holding you back. So that is week number 4, and you're going to be getting some amazing bonuses as well. You're going to get 6 bonus health guides in week number 4, where you're going to be looking at, how to make recipes in your crock pot, golden milk, how to make, golden milk to suit the gut, how you can have better sleep, how you can make your own probiotic rich foods, so much more, okay? And the best supplements to take. Guys, I've put literally all that I know into this program, and guess what? It is only $97. That's right. So your early bird price is going to be valid for the next 10 days, okay? So you have 10 days to grab your spot in this group program. So the Gut Restoring 4 program is only $97 right now, and the link is actually in the comment section below. You can also go to viasanawellness.com. That's viasanawellness.com, VIASANA wellness.com/gut restore 19 for 2019. Gut Restore 19. The link is below. Go there, read all about the program, everything that I've just spoken to you and more, and see if it's for you and join us, all right? So the enrollment starts today. Cart is open. Go there, grab your spot. It's $97. Normally it's $197, and there's also an option to add on some additional coaching services if you want the additional one-to-one support. Now the cool thing is that you're going to have a forum on Facebook where you can ask questions. You can have access to me 24/7, and I'm going to be going live every day for 4 weeks in December in the program. So you can ask me questions live and get coaching support. Okay, so guys, this program is amazing, and the enrollment closes on the 30th of November. Okay, so we start December 1st as a group. That's going to be starting all together, and as soon as you buy now, as soon as you enroll in the program, you're going to get an email that's going to give you all the instructions on how to take the next steps, and then 3 days before the program starts, you're going to get access to all your program materials. Okay, if you have any questions, please drop them below. I will answer them, and I'll be going live every other day this week to answer any questions, to talk a little bit about the program, and to share some testimonials of those that have done it before, because they've been amazing, and I've had such amazing results with my previous Gut Fix in 6 program, and I've now repackaged it and made it even better this year. So guys, I'm so excited to welcome you into the Gut Restoring 4 program, and I hope that you will give it a shot, because I promise you that IBS is not a life sentence, and neither is gut issues, and neither you should not be living with these issues. I mean, I lived with them for 10 years. I certainly don't want you to be living with these issues for so long. I want you to get right on it and start feeling better today. Okay, guys? So I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream, and you've got some amazing free tips. But make sure to sign up and enroll into my program, guys, because this program is amazing, and I can vouch for it because I've done it all, and I've gone through it, and my clients have gone through it, and you're just gonna love it. So go to the link in the comment section below and check it out. Enroll now, $97, early bird. Don't miss out. All right, guys. So again, I've loved coming on here as usual every week for Wellness Wednesday Live for the Gut series. Next week is going to be a break because I'm going to be going live especially for the program. So next week there's not going to be a Wellness Wednesday Live, but the following week there will be. So make sure to stay tuned and follow and like my page so you know when I go live next. Guys, I love you all. To your gut health and happiness. I will see you next time. Bye.